Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial for a new nail art technique where you can create your own nail decals using nail polish. It's a technique I learned while I was in New York for Fashion Week from CND co-founder Jan Arnold. She had recently been to Russia and learned this from some of the CND education ambassadors, so I thought it'd be something fun to share with you. What you'll need in order to create these decals is a plastic sandwich bag, as long as it's some sort of non-porous surface, like a plastic bag or a piece of plastic wrap or even wax paper. Something like that would work perfectly for this. You'll also need either one of the CND effects. I've chosen Copper Shimmer and also Ice Blue Shimmer. You can use these as your backdrop for your design, or you can also use clear polish, but I suggest not using a quick dry top coat because it dries, when it dries it becomes very kind of brittle and it's easy to break. So if you want a clear background, I would suggest using something like CND Super Shiny or Zoya Armor, a top coat that dries slower than a quick dry, so that it'll be more flexible when it's finished. Also, an everyday clear polish would work as well. But I found that I like having some sort of interesting background, so I really liked using the CND effects. Also, the project that I'm going to be showing you was taught to me using CND asphalt. Unfortunately, my asphalt has not been capped properly, so I found that it's really thick and goopy, so I can't use it for the purposes of this. And I found that China Glaze Concrete Catwalk from the Fall Metro collection is pretty close, so I'm going to use that as a substitute. To begin, you just want to polish a piece of your plastic with your background color, and like I said, for me that's going to be Copper Shimmer. The whole idea of this look is to make this look like a bed of kind of river rocks. So I like using the Copper Shimmer because it kind of looks like sun glinting off the water. And if you were to put this over a blue polish, which I'll show you later, it does kind of look like that kind of effect. So you just want to polish this right on the plastic wrap, and in a size that's about the same as width as your finger. And you want to lay it on pretty thick. And what I found makes it easier for removal is if you kind of like paint yourself a little tab at the end. And that way when you go to peel this off the next day, you'll have something to grip onto and won't have to worry about ruining your design. Now I know it's not easy to see, but there is kind of like a finger width amount of polish on here. And I let it dry for a few minutes, and then I'm going to take my gray polish, which will be the base of my river rocks. And you just want to dab this in small dots. You can make them any size you want. You can drag them out if you want to make kind of different designs. You can make them bigger. Or smaller, whatever your preference is, and just kind of, you know, dab the polish on to make your dots. And if you want to, you know, make irregularly shaped or half moons or whatever, however you want your rocks to look, your design to look. Obviously, you can do more than river rocks. This is just an example I was given, so that's what I'm showing you. But I mean, you could do diagonal stripes, you could do stars, you could do any kind of design you can think of. The limit is your imagination. So I also will let these drops dry for a few minutes before adding the next layer. Okay, so now that my drops are dry, I'm going to take my Ice Blue Shimmer, and this is going to give some dimension to the rocks. And as I dab that on, I'm just going to lightly dab it in the middle of all of these. And just it just adds kind of a three-dimensional look to the rocks. And in a lot of ways, it's almost like you're making, when you do water marbling, it's similar to that. And And the beautiful part is it doesn't have to be perfect. Nature's not perfect, and neither do your nail art designs have to be perfect. So that's pretty much it. I mean, you could obviously add more effects on top if you want to make it a little more interesting. You could certainly use different colors as the base. I thought asphalt was really great for rocks. But that's the technique in a nutshell. And then you just let this dry overnight, and the next day you're able to peel it off, and you'll get something that looks like this. Like basically just, it's a sheet of polish with a design on it. And for this one, I decided to use Ice Blue Shimmer as my base. And I used Desert Suede with Copper Shimmer on top. And it almost looks like kind of like a bronzy metallic, more of like a desert stone kind of thing against maybe like a blue sky. And I think that the effects make for really interesting when you go to layer them over something. That the color kind of adds something and changes what your base is. And as you can see, I've been wearing these two for, excuse the green, I've been wearing these two for about a day or so, and you'll peel them off and just press them on your nail. You can also cut them. You can cut around the designs. On this nail here, I cut out just a few of the rocks and put it over. But I also put down a base of Copper Shimmer to try and help it blend. On this nail, I just cut out the entire decal, the size of my nail, and put it over top. And this is actually over top of one of the new Chanel jeans polishes, the darkest blue. And the name is escaping me at the moment. But that's what I put this one over. And as you can see, over a darker color, the Copper Shimmer really stands out over it. And it essentially applied similar to Sally Hansen Salon Effects or Minx, something of that nature. I didn't trim mine with scissors, which I regret now. You should really try and trim these to your nail size. I just tried using an orange wood stick to break off the excess, and I ended up tearing it a little bit on one side because of that. So if you really want a perfect shape, you should try using nail scissors for the best effect. But that's pretty much the look, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. I'm not really a nail art person. That's not my skill set. So what I like about this is that it allows you to try, you know, different techniques without ruining your manicure. You have a lot of play space on a plastic bag, and so you can try a lot of different designs. And if you mess them up, just start again, and it's really easy. You don't have to start all over with a brand new manicure. So once you get a design that you love, you can just replicate that over and over again for your nails, or just do it on one nail. So I think it's a pretty interesting technique. I think it's, for those of you that love DIY projects, I think it's something you're really going to really enjoy. So I hope you give it a try and let me know how your designs turn out.